The question that I get asked the most when people find out that I play professional football are, how much money did I make? What kind of car do I drive? And why did I stop? I stopped playing football because I quit. My dad was in the military, so I started my career playing football in El Paso, Texas. All right, so I played football in Mainz, Germany, and from Germany, we moved down to New York at Washingtonville High School. It's not far from West Point. And the first game of the year, I broke the state record. I think I rushed for 391 yards. My dad retired from the Army up in New York, and he wanted us to move south to continue to play football because me and my little brother was actually pretty good at football. So he wanted us to play football in the South. So we moved to Alabama. So I played my junior year and my senior year of football down in Alabama. My senior year, I won 6A Player of the Year, off the Mr. Football by, I think they said a vote or two. I led the entire state in rushing, but I didn't get many offers because at the time that they were offering scholarships, a lot of teams didn't think that I was going to make the grade. I got a scholarship offer from UAB. I got a scholarship offer from Temple. That came in late. Then I got a scholarship offer from Middle Tennessee State University. So my senior year, they were actually promoting me for the Heisman. The school pitched the campaign Hicks for Heisman, and then I became a dark horse candidate for the Heisman. Illustrated article where Ricky Williams had went to the Dolphins, and he was on the cover. I think the quarterback was on the cover, and some other folks were on the cover. So on like one of the back pages, I was featured there. I think I ended up my career with 50 plus touchdowns at MTSU. And I think I might be still ranked in the top 20 all time in scoring touchdowns. So that's pretty dope. Signed with a agent that was based out of Arizona. And we flew out to Arizona to prepare for the NFL Combine. So I was out in Arizona preparing for the NFL Combine. But while preparing for the NFL Combine, I wasn't able to do much. I was able to do the lifts and stuff like that, but I really couldn't push off my knee to run, nor push off my knee to jump. So when the NFL Combine came around, I had only been running for about a week or so. So my agent told me that I probably shouldn't run at the Combine. At that point, we had to start staying in shape and then actually get ready for draft day. I think that I was going to get drafted on the first day, but I definitely thought I would get drafted on the second day. So my family and some of my friends came over to my house down in Alabama, and we watched and waited for my name to be called. I think that year there was only like seven or eight running backs drafted, period. And that never happened. And I wasn't one of them.
But a team called and said that they were getting ready to draft me. We're getting ready to draft me right here. So I'm watching on the TV and they didn't call my name. And then several teams ended up calling my agent and wanting to sign me to a free agent contract. I made the easy decision just going right up the street to the Tennessee Titans and joining my teammate up there. So I joined the Tennessee Titans as an unrestricted free agent.
Let me tell you about the day I found out that I was actually going to make the team. So I went through the preseason with the Titans, and I can see my teammates coming and going because free agents are usually the first to go, and an undrafted free agent a lot of time don't make the team. So I remember it was on the final cut day. Jeff Fisher was our head coach, and I'm coming into the building. I'm nervous in general. And so he stops. It was me and Jason Gesser, Washington State quarterback. So me and Jason Gesser are walking into the facility on that day, and Jeff Fisher's like, "Hey, Gesser, Hicks, come in here real quick." And I'm like, "Oh shit." He like closed the door, and he said, "I didn't want you guys stressing or worrying the rest of the day. I just wanted to go ahead and let you know that you all made the team." I know I wasn't supposed to tell nobody, but the first thing I do was grab my cell phone. I called my mom and I was like, "I made the team." My parents made it to every MTSU football game except for two. I think we played at North Texas. They didn't make it down there, but they made sure that a friend from back in the day, she came to represent them. And also they didn't make it to Maryland. And in that game, they sent someone down there to represent them. So my parents were dope in their support for everything that I did. Played a couple of games with the Titans. Mostly I didn't dress out all the time. And then when I did get in, I got in on special teams. I was like on punt block. I ran down on kickoff. I made 2 tackles. I made 2 tackles. One was, and both of them were versus Steve Smith. Now they're like push out of bounds tackles, but they still counted as tackles. So I had 2 tackles with them. Jeff Fisher called me one day after practice, letting me know that I'll be released, but they're gonna pick me back up on the practice squad. So my agent called me. He said that, "Where do you wanna go?" He said, "You can go back to the Titans, you can wait." He said, "But we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. It might have been the Packers and the Bears that are interested in me." He didn't need to say anything else. He said the Chicago Bears, and I was like, I'm going to Chicago. My childhood favorite team was the Chicago Bears, so I was going to Chicago. I'm gonna drop this off. So I finished the rest of that year up in Chicago on the practice squad, and Chicago said that they'll pay me 53-man money to be on the practice squad. And what 53-man money means is I'll get paid as if I'm on the 53-man roster, but they'll put me on the practice squad. So, and I finish out that season. We go into the next season, and Lovie Smith is hired. And we're in training camp, and I ended up hurting my knee. I was running on some play, and I feel like I overextended my knee. It landed on a little divot in the ground. So I had to sit out like a practice or two, and then that was the problem. Go back to our dorm rooms, because we're in some dorm rooms. So I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at everybody else, talk to family members, talking to their lady. So I started to get into my feelings, and because I ain't had nobody to talk to. So I'm sitting there in between practices, sitting there watching, them practice. When my knee was bothering me, I had rehabbed a little bit. All I had was like, I probably have this one more day of resting up my knee before I went back out to practice. Or when you're bored, you start thinking about all types of stuff. So I'm sitting there at practice, and I'm like, man, you are more than an athlete. Now, this is before LeBron came up with the more than an athlete thing. You don't have to just do this football stuff. You could do something else. So we're in between practices, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave. While everybody's, talking on the phone, people are taking naps. Some folks are off in the dorm playing games. Packed up all my stuff and I drove off. I called one of my homeboys, Chris, and I had told him what I was doing. And he was like, man, you don't want this life. My agent called, he was like, go back. And he said, you got hamstring issues, like try to pull your hamstring, do something, try to get paid or something. Trainer's called, he was like, Hicks, where you at, man? You got the sweetest feet, man. Man, don't do this. Yeah, so I'm young, dumb, and I was like, nah, I'm good. I can do something else. So I quit. Looking back, I really think that I might have been depressed in a way. A couple of games into the Titans is when my mom passed away. Me thinking back, I should have got some help for when my mom passed, because I did feel as if, like a part of me was missing, because I didn't know how to necessarily deal with the passing of my mother. And I didn't understand how that was affecting me. So I do feel as if the passing of my mom and me not dealing with it the way that I could have affected my decision when it came to playing football. That is my story of why I quit the NFL. I definitely appreciate y'all listening. Y'all do me a favor. Y'all go watch another video. And if you like, stories like this, just let me know and I'll double back and maybe start telling some more stories. All right, y'all. I'm out.